Well, hello, guys. Welcome to the cult meeting. I know I do that joke way too much. I've gotten way too much fun with it, but I told you I had a robe. Actually, it's kind of like what, a cowl when it's just a cape and the hood. So, yeah, actually, I was working with the goddess energy, and she's like, "You have to wear that." And this is not even like a pagany robe. Not that you probably can't tell, but it's a what this is actually it was I was in where was I? I was in Kmart, and they had this 90% off sale rack for the Halloween stuff, and I was going through and I found this, crushed black velvet cape, and I'm like, I can't wear that for a ritual. And like he's like, why not? Get it. So like I absolutely cannot get next to an open flame with this thing on because I would go up like a Roman candle. But yeah, it's not bad. And so, there's a little tidbit, use what you have. It doesn't matter if it was like made for a costume. When I first started serving Bastet as like in a priestess capacity eons ago, I had a goddess Aphrodite, um, like little, kind of Greek slash Roman kind of toga. And she loved being served in that thing. And again, it was like one of those situations where I got it like 90% off. And it kind of seems like every once in a while you just stumble across stuff. So if you do, accept it as a gift from the gods and use it. But what I wanted to talk about today is, goddess energy. And goddess energy with Loki. And I'm taking my clothes off on camera. And yeah, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like one thing covering another. With Loki, we have the masculine energy so much in our face in every part of pagan culture and like popular culture that it can be hard to remember she does have that feminine side, and she is also fully a goddess. Remember, she became a mirror to have Sleipnir, and it's funny, we still use the male pronouns when discussing a mirror. Well, he was a mirror, and he gave birth. It's like, no, he became a she, and there's no shame in that. Loki, no. Loki's like, do you want to know what genitalia I had? I'm like, no, it's okay. It's the baby came out somewhere. Oh, shut up, Loki. But and he's said to have become a maid for like 8 years and lived underneath the ground and gave birth like gave at least if not gave birth to have nursed babies, have been a wet nurse and to be the mother of all either witches, hags, orcs, or trolls, depending on what translation you go by. Because he ate a heart and he was impregnated, and there you go. So, he becoming she, the goddess aspect, what's it like working with her? I know we did like exactly one video on her because she's kind of not popular, and then um I think like the goddess is kind of burned out of some people because we had Wicca for it's been around for 50 years now or so, like 50 some years. And she's kind of burnt out of some people. Some people are like, I'm so done with a goddess. I'm done. Everything's goddess. I'm going crazy. I have to get out of here. But we do need that goddess energy. I mean, one second, let me get some coffee before I choke to death on all you beautiful people. I don't think that would make for good watch. Okay, welcome back. The lights came on. It's a miracle. Yeah, I say don't like to drink on camera, but it's like kind of my thing now. I've been doing it for a year, so I'm not gonna stop now. Working with her goddess energy, what is she like? Since we haven't revisited her in about a year, probably it's probably time to do it. She can be very sexy, very flirty. Um, if you like women and she knows the kind of women you like, she will do that. She's she's shameless in a good way. Um, but she can also be the kind of gal like I did a video that's uploading now actually of dressed in like the froofy clothes and at home. It's kind of like a more hidden hearth goddess. Ugh, I'm not dressing up today. Don't bother me aspect. It's when you're gonna cook, you're not gonna usually, in the 1950s, people had that warped fantasy of women that some women do, but we marched around in high heels and our pearls and a dress and all of our makeup and our hair done, and that's how we cooked. It's like, no, if I'm in the kitchen, I dress like a slob. I dress like Willie Nelson all the time, so you can't tell, but it's like, normally ladies in my family never dress like that to cook. And so she can have that kind of aspect, that hearth goddess, kind of practical aspect. She comes across to me as like a woman in, more modern clothes, and it's more like jean jackets and jeans and that, and like she's gonna dress like, since I'm from the 80s probably, like a 80s gal, like independent, kind of like punk vibe to her a little bit. But it's like she's gonna look practical around the house. But when she wants to look sexy, she can look sexy, or she can do whatever she wants. She is Loki, she is Loki. She kind of gives me that idea that she likes to go out to bars and get into bar fights and kick people's ass for them because, why not? She's kind of like where Loki, the male aspect kind of has that on lock. The female aspect is going to go out and get in a fight. Just because she can, she'll kick your ass. She's a little more aggressive, but it's in the fun way. She's kind of that cool female relative, and this is why I thought Lilith was coming in. I couldn't figure out why I was getting Loki's energy, the god aspect, and this goddess trying to come in, and like I was like starting to get all pink in my Pinterest feed, and then I was getting black cats. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Excuse my language, but I was like, what is going on? So, she can kind of come across like that. With me, she likes to wear a lot of leather and dress in black because she knows it's going to send the message she needs to send me. She may look Shut up, Loki. Nobody wants you to show up dressed as a sexy school teacher. I am so sorry. But yeah, that's the kind of goddess she is. She's like over there helping. Because I said, who wants to make trouble today? Because I was going to do her altar, which I showed you, and Bastette's the first one that shows up. So if Bastette, the one that trained me in exotic body oils and everything, is the first goddess to show up, you know what kind of goddess she is. She likes to party. She's not shy. Being Loki, she likes every gender, no gender at all. Even if you feel you have no gender or you feel like you're totally asexual, she's like down for a cuddle, but as long as she knows she won't emotionally scar you for life, she will flirt. She is, and we can't dance around it, she is the drive to mate, whether you're mating to make a child or you want to, I sound like I watch way too much Animal Planet, to make a child or just for pleasure or whatever. Obviously, I showed you kind of like a toned down altar if it's going to be for a goddess of love. There are usually items I put on the altar, use your imagination, that I can't show you. She's very down with adult entertainment. Anything you like, she's probably not going to judge you on. Obviously, if you're doing something that would get you arrested, then yeah. She's not, like some kind of weirdo that like hangs around playgrounds or something. She has healthy adult consensual sexuality. I have to get it out there because people are like, I've seen people that are misinformed that they'll say like, this god is a god of this and this goddess is a goddess of that. And it's like, no, I don't know what your bag is or what you do to people, but no, that's not what they're there for. So she's very flirty. She's very sexy. She's highly intelligent. She's kind of like Bastet, where they like to do the typical ditzy act, where they don't have a little brain in their tiny little head and they're all giggly. This is at times, and then she can be like, ready to go out and find a fight, or she can just be ready to like hang out at home with you. So, and I can feel her. She keeps distracting me. She's over there like, hey, and I'm like, shut up, you're distracting me. She's naughty. She's naughty. If you think he's naughty, she's twice as naughty. It's like she's the yeah, yeah, we women have to try twice as hard. Thank you, dear. Yeah, women have to try twice as hard. So she's very naughty. She's very sexy. And again, if you don't have that relationship with Loki, you're probably just gonna see her if she would show up in something more risque and just be like, ugh, who cares? But you know, she has a brain in her head. She's not going to like show up in something shocking if it's going to like seriously hurt your feelings. But again, you can't say ew gross when you're talking about Loki, because if that's really your feeling and you judge people for that, then she's really going to press you on it. She's really going to be coming after you. I mean, if that's not your relationship, that's fine, but you don't get to say ew gross and nobody else gets to do it. I always get like hate comments on these videos because there are a lot of people that they're just like ew gross and they don't want to hear about goddesses having sexuality. Well, they do. Why do you think Bastet had, you know, cats as her totem, and she had you know, sacred animal, and she had parties in May where no children were allowed because all the adults got drunk and just procreated till, you know, on these barges, and there was alcohol and food, and it was glorious. And yeah, I'm born around like the time of her festival. It's really cool. And people in the old days, they weren't ashamed. It was natural. Today there's like that overbalance between you either have to be a Puritan or, you know, people think you're like out dancing on a stripper pole every day. Usually most of us are somewhere in between. We're kind of Puritan the way our American society is when it's appropriate, but then, you know, we have the sensual side. And with Loki, her message very much is to not be ashamed of that, to not apologize for it, to not feel like you have to like cover up from head to toe if that's not who you are. To embrace how you feel comfortable being a woman. If you really do like to dress like, you know, cover from head to toe, or for your religion you cover your head as well, that's fine, but it has to be something you as a woman embrace and you feel exemplifies what being a woman is. It can't be, I'm doing this to fit in, because she would also conversely be the last one to say, oh, be sexy because women have to be sexy. No, she would not like women objectified. If a woman chooses to do it, you know, more power to her. She'll be right behind her. But if oh goddess, but if a woman is like forced into that position and that's all a woman's good for, and she's just objectified and she can't get ahead in life unless she objectifies her body, and you know, she's a piece of meat, that she's not cool with. She's a great goddess to get in touch with. She's kind of like Bastet, where you really feel like she's too silly and too distracted to do anything, and she won't always tell you why she showed up. But she can do, you know, she can do a lot of deep healing with you. Maybe you had a trauma in your life as a female, and she can help you through that. Maybe a trauma with, you know, other women or from women, and she can help you through that as well. But she will be like her male aspect. She can be no nonsense. She can be a little hard headed, and she can be a bit of a disciplinarian if you need it. A lot of the aspects people give, like say Lilith or La Santa, would apply to Loki, the goddess, as well. So, you know, I hope you guys enjoy that, because, you know, I'm lucky that I tap into this joyous, bubbly, giggly kind of Bastet side. Some people they tap into a more somber stage side, and you know, she has endless paths. So just because your goddess Loki acts totally different from mine, it doesn't mean that you're wrong or I'm wrong. It just means we both had to get what we needed. I tend to, you know, go a certain way. I'm like, as a Gemini, we usually are bubbly and bouncy and everything, but then, you know, because of my past, because I was told to knock it off and to not be that personality, I can be really dour and dark and cold, and she kind of has to come around every so often to say, what are you doing? You know, this is really not you. This is why you are so depressed, because it's usually not you to be so serious. Oh God. And to, you know, be so dour. It's like you to be fun, but you know, to each their own. And she's the one kind of like recharging like that Gemini aspect. We can have a dual nature. We can be, dark and serious, but then we can be light and cheerful, and there's nothing wrong with us. It's why we seem so flighty. We will really truly mean, like I said, I am never ever having sugar in my coffee again. Do you know I ordered sugar this time? Because I'm like, you know, I want some sugar every once in a while. And like when I go to serve a goddess, it's like, I don't want to give her Splenda or Sweet and Low or something. It's not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just like sugar is tradition. I'm going with tradition on this one, and sugar does taste better. So yeah, she's really fun to work with. She's very bubbly. She's the one that got me addicted to, I guess they would call them exploitation films now, but like in the 80s, remember how all the girls were like cute college girls and they were all bouncing around on beds and on beaches and everything, and there was like really no plot, but they were all cute. It wasn't like, like softcore or anything, but it was like, I can't remember the plot for a single one of those films, other than they were a bunch of girls and they were having fun and pillow fights were involved. That's all I remember. She loves those. She loves pinup girls with me. But she also loves all the toys and everything in here too. I don't know if she has a child aspect. I usually don't get on with children, which is strange because Lokeans, Geminis are said to be very childlike, but we can get very childish too, so maybe that's why. Maybe I'm like the type of child that's like, yeah, all you other children stay over there, I want my stuff for myself. So I don't know, but I hope that helped. Right now I have her Scentsy Warmer going, the little fox. She is like a vixen. Women are called vixens, not in a flattering term. It's usually meant as an insult because, women, the moment a woman acts just a little bit sexy, she's, called all these degrading names, and it shouldn't be. She's like, embrace your sexuality. Don't be ashamed of it. A vixen's not gonna be, out in the wild thing. What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? Ugh. No, she's gonna be out there, and when, it's the season to breed, she's gonna go out and breed. She's not gonna be ashamed she went out and breed. Where do you think all the little foxes come from? They fall out of the sky? No, she has to go out and, find a mate and breed. And then there are more foxes, and, when those foxes grow up, they'll do the same thing. It's natural. It's a gift. In closing, she's really fun to work with. The only caution Kavita I would put on is I've noticed that sometimes, like, you can feel like she'll amp up your energy and you'll get really excited and really hyper, and you can sense you're going in the wrong direction with something and you can't stop. Learn when that's going to happen, when you sense it happening, and start to tap the brakes a little bit. Kind of like get your energy back in a little, because I can feel I'm like getting hyper and like kind of ditzy and excited. It doesn't help that both she and Bastet are here, but yeah. And we could sit here forever and talk about her. We really could, because she will teach you to embrace your sexuality. You don't have to be like a model in a magazine. You don't have to be what society finds attractive. Yes, dear, thank you. She said, go on a certain hub. You'll learn some people find anything attractive or everything attractive. Not in a bad way. Everybody finds something different attractive. So, there is someone out there that would find you attractive the way you are now. They wouldn't be waiting for you to gain weight or lose weight. They wouldn't wait for you to be, provided you're an adult, they wouldn't be waiting for you to be younger. Like if you're in your 40s like me, they're not going to be sitting around waiting for you to be in your 20s. They're going to like you the way you are. And conversely, if you're in 20s, they're not going to be thinking, well, you're okay, but I really, date people in their 40s. She will help you find that partner that will accept you. And if you ever have doubts with people, you can go to her. Usually I've learned when I'm kind of leery of people, there's a reason why. I think she's like going, So, I hope you guys like what you said. Yeah, like what you said. Like what you saw. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm getting all ditzy, my energy is getting kind of spastic, so I'm gonna get off and like try to relax, which probably means we're gonna play music and goof off, eat peeps, because, you know, I really need more sugar in my system at this point. I actually haven't had any today. I've had coffee, but I haven't had sugar in it, so I don't know. Okay, I will see you guys later. I'm going to shut this off or I will never shut up. Bye bye.